to the channel and welcome back to the vlog. Now today you join me on the hunt for fungi. So it's a video I made probably around maybe 3 years ago I think, and my son actually came with me to help me out on the day, and I decided I wanted to come back and see could I get more shots similar to what I would have had then. If you haven't seen that episode, actually I'll link to it up here. But this is a woods that's close to home, and it's called Moan Bon Woods, and it's a quilcha forest. And if you're a long time subscriber to the channel, you'll know that quilcha, I have a love-hate with them because they are renewable forestry. So they plant all of these pine trees. They're not native Irish trees, but they come in and then they cut them down, which is obviously okay, but what they leave behind is devastation. Now, thankfully, the area I'm in at the moment still has trees, and it's actually the area that I came to when I was here around 3 years ago as well. And what I want to do today is kind of show you an idea of always look by your feet, particularly when you're in woodlands like this. We're in October right now, and the area that I'm in is an area that's quite damp and moist, covered by the tree line. So we have mushrooms that are going to grow there. 3 years ago I was looking for a red mushroom with my son. We never found one. Maybe I'll find one today, but I know that there's going to be a lot of opportunities here for different types of shots. I'm going to be getting down low. I'm going to get up close and personal as well with these mushrooms, and I'll talk you through different settings that I'm using. So hopefully you'll be able to get out in shots like this of your own. Let's go. Already I have my first shot, I think, lined up, and I'll bring you down here and give you a look at what I'm looking at. So what we have is, here's my camera, and if I come over here, you should follow me. You see right here, it is looking at some mushrooms that are growing on the end of a bark or a trunk of a tree. For now, all I want to do effectively is get as close as I can. And if you look here, I have a tiny little mini tripod, and that's one that I have normally at home if I want to do some recording in the studio, but it's great then to be able to get out and get down low as well for scenarios like this. Weighs nothing. I think it costs something like $50 on Amazon or something like that, but scenarios like this, it comes in clutch because it allows me to get very, very low. I can get as close and easy enough to move around. There's no weight involved, takes up no space in my bag, and it's definitely something that I'd recommend to have just in case you need it. Now, additionally, with this here, you have to be very, very conscious of focus. So I'm quite close to this. I'm at the minimum focal distance that I can have with this lens, which is now my Sigma 24 to 105. If you're a long time watcher of the channel, you'll know I normally use my 16 to 35, which is my wide angle lens, but I want to be able to try and get in a small bit closer on this by using the focal range that I have. And right now I'm at around 40 mil, so I'm zooming in as well. Gives that allow more opportunity to fill the frame. With just these mushrooms here, with the bark of the tree, I want effectively those to be sharp. And then I'm making sure I'm underexposing the image just to kind of create a natural vignette, because what I don't want is the distraction of the woodland in the background. Now, of course, I could go to f4 and reduce that depth of field and give me this lovely bokeh. But the challenge you have when you go to f4 is exactly that. You're reducing that depth of field. So what I'm finding at the moment here is I'm at f10. I'm at 1/6 of a second. My ISO is at 100, and that is working out perfectly fine for me. Additionally, the light. So it's a grey day here in Ireland, so that's a natural softbox which diffuse the light coming from the top, lighting up the top of these mushrooms. And I don't have any hotspots to be able to deal with as well, so it's a very straightforward type of exposure. So here's my first shot now. In the area that I'm at, haven't had far to go. I spot a few more as well that I want to take some photographs of. So I'll give you a look at this one now here first, and then I'll find the next, and I'll talk to you once I find that. Now for the next shot, I didn't have far to come from my first shot. And there's a small little family of mushrooms that are right below me here. And with the camera, I pretty much have it. Well, not pretty much, it actually is on the ground. So even with my small micro tripod, it wasn't enough to be able to get me low enough. And I've had to come back slightly to make sure that I can get everything in focus. Now, settings at the moment here, I've changed actually, because I didn't like all of these branches that are behind here. I wanted those out of the frame. So I've actually changed. I've gone to f4. I'm at 150 of a second, ISO 100, and I've taken around 7 photographs, all macro down to the focus point of view, because I want to make sure that I get all of these sharp. They are quite small. If you look here, if I take this off me, if I turn you around, so you see they are quite small, but with that in mind, they're going to fill the frame. So if I give you a look at the back of the camera here, maybe you can see what I'm actually framing up here. Kind of, yeah. So that's the type of shot that I'm going for. And I've noticed as well now I'm getting light around me as well. So that could be interesting too. Might be difficult, but again, it could be interesting also. I'm going to head over this way next, see another batch of mushrooms that I want to be able to capture. But there's also these that are right below me here. So I might have a look at those two actually before I go over. While I'm here, might as well take it. And yeah, there's the first shot. And here is the second shot, and hopefully this here will be the third shot, all within 1 square meter. So here's the next shot now, and I'll talk to you once I get the following one set up after this. I think that little family of mushrooms actually do look well in the image. Now, there's definitely a challenge here to be able to capture this shot, because the depth of field and the depth of focus is going to be different, because some are close, some are in the middle, and some are far away. A bit like Father Ted. If you've seen that, you'll get the reference. But I'm going to spin you around here and show you how I'm tackling this shot. So hopefully you'll be able to see the back of the screen. I'm going to just turn this out so we get no reflections. So you see here, so what I'm doing effectively is I am using the touchscreen on this Canon EOS R, and I can just touch the area I want to focus, which is here, and then it takes that shot. And then I go to the next area, which is going to be here, and it takes that shot. And then I'm just playing and taking shots in many, many different areas to make sure that I get the entire scene in focus. Now, an area as well, which is on this side over here, which is going to be quite dark. So I'm going to make sure I get that in focus as well. And then it's just a matter, well, I say just a matter, it might or may not work, I'll bring them all into post-processing and get them all stitched together. So hopefully that will work out, because I do think this is a nice group of mushrooms. And again, I have literally stayed within this 1 square meter, and that 1 square meter already has yielded 3 shots. Hopefully all 3 have worked out. You'll have seen 2 before now, and here's the third, and we'll move on and find more in a moment. Now, the next mushroom that I found had a few pine cones as well around it, so I strategically placed 2 of them just to kind of help frame the image. But it's a very challenging shot to get, because if you look below me here, it is quite low down to the ground. So there are my pine cones that are there within the frame, but I've actually had to put the camera down into a bit of a hole in the ground, on the ground as well. Even with the tripod and its lowest level, it can go quite flat. But I need to get down lower, and then obviously the difficulty is trying to focus because I'm so close to it where that hole is. So I'm not sure actually if this image will work out. Hopefully it will. I've taken a number of different types of shots anyway. It may not be the finest one, but still, nonetheless, still another shot. So that's 4 images now so far. Still haven't seen any red mushrooms. toadstools, whatever you want to call them. But I know they've got some scientific name, but it's far over my pay grade. But yeah, here's the next one anyway. Now, going to look for one more, I think, and hopefully that one more will be the one that I came looking for. But yeah, here's the next shot now. Let me know in the comments what you think of this shot. Now, after walking around this relatively small area, I've spotted a couple of different varieties of mushrooms, but none really that I could get some photographs of because they were too low to the ground, so it won't really be impactful to be able to get that shot. But I've stumbled across this scene here, and what I like about it is that you've got two mushrooms. They're large mushrooms as well. I can get down low so I can actually get underneath them and see pretty much underneath them. However, as you can see here, one of them has been half eaten. So it would be great actually if I'd gotten this before it was eaten. I don't know what animals would eat these mushrooms. Maybe you know, let me know in the comments below. But what it's done effectively is timbered over one of the mushrooms here, and I can see the underneath. I can see all of the veins and everything else underneath. And then I've got this one mushroom as well that's still quite proud. Now, getting down low as well, I'm putting three elements in the image. So I've got the mushroom on the right hand side, which is the toppled over one. You've got the main one in the center. And then I'm using a bit of this bark as well here because there's lovely mosses that are on that. And I like the way the light is just hitting it as well. Now, again, similar to all the other shots, I'm focus stacking. So I'm focusing on the front, the mid and the background. And then I'm also focusing as well on different parts of the mushroom. I may or may not need that, but it's always worthwhile to get it right in the field because you don't want to go home and then go, damn it, this one is not sharp. That being said, that could still be the case. I don't know. I haven't seen the images yet. You've seen them anyway, but yeah, maybe it has happened, maybe it hasn't. But as you can see now here by me, I'm getting a bit of a touch of light, which is great. So if I get the shot and I make sure again that I'm just focusing on the different parts of the image and making sure that I capture that light and that I'm making sure that everything is sharp. I like this shot. Certainly different, and it's always something I think that I enjoy to do this time of year. You can do it as well in your local woodland. Just make sure that you're taking many different types of shots to make sure that you get the subject in focus. So thank you very much as always for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If it's your first time on the channel, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. Give me a like, give me a comment. And before I go, I want to thank all of my amazing supporters on Patreon, especially these legends right here. If you want to join us on Patreon, there'll be a link in the description. I'd love for you to join us in the small community that we're growing. But it's something that I'm really, really passionate about, and I'd love to see you over on Patreon. You can get more content, you can get early access in regards to these videos, and I also as well have a great community in conversation. So thank you very much for everybody, and thank you for watching. And until the next time, Slán go fóill.